Every weekend, I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other. It's part of who I am. If you ride, you know what I mean. That's why I insure with Shannons. They get it. They share our passion and give us the features riders want, like limited use cover and multi-vehicle discounts. Shannons insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. Whatever you ride, ride with Shannons.
Call 134646 for a quote.
Rare Spares has over 50,000 product lines and releases over 500 new products every year. Your local Rare Spares distributor has what you need when you need it. And as the only restoration company officially backed by Holden and Ford, we take our part in your project very seriously. Rare Spares, more than just a part in your project.
Good evening, sim racing fans. Welcome once again to Sim Racing World TV. Tonight we head into the world of close contact racing as we present round one of the new season for the Shannons GR86 Nationals. It's a big field of over 40 plus cars on track tonight, so it should be an action-packed night of racing. It's Cal, your average sim racer here. I'm together with Tyler Sheepy Sheep. We're back for another night of SRW action. Behind the scenes, Brett the Wheelman Wheeler will be looking after all of the action on tonight's track. It's going to be an awesome night for the first round here at Lime Rock Park. 1 minute laps in a sprint round, Sheepy. She's going to be some exciting stuff, buddy.
Absolutely. I'm just out there in practice, just performed. Yeah, these boys are very quick. I'm struggling to keep up with them, so it's going to be very interesting to see what happens tonight. There's a few boys in the 58 that I was really surprised about, but yeah, it's got to be anyone's game tonight.
Well, I did see you're out there having a bit of a rumble, but they've drafted you last minute into the comms box, buddy. Certainly appreciate it. Well, more importantly, my throat will appreciate it because I've got a couple of gigs coming up this weekend, buddy. So thanks for joining me.
No, anytime, mate. No, it's good fun. Obviously, I enjoy racing G86s and watching them as well was pretty good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to tonight's race and maybe good omen. I can stay out of trouble tonight.
Yeah, I might have bumped you the other night there, buddy. I think it was just a racing action, but, you know, these things happen, I suppose. But this category, the 86s, that seems to almost be par for the course, especially when you put 40 cars on a track that's only a minute long.
Yeah, definitely not wrong about that. And then you just got the chicane in the back half, as you see Jamie Christensen just on track right now. And just it's so difficult. Like I can't imagine what lap one with 40 plus cars going to go into that corner is going to be like.
Well, buddy, that leads into the perfect question that I know Hamish and I on the F3s, we ask this every night. How many safety cars do you think we're going to get, buddy? We've got a sprint round, a 20-minute race, followed by a 40-minute race, I believe. So, all up, how many safety cars are we going to see tonight, buddy?
Hopefully not too many. I believe in the boys to keep it nice and clean, even though it's going to be hectic. But if you see the safety car, it'll probably be in the first 3 minutes of the race, and then it should be pretty clean afterwards. So maybe one per race.
Okay, so you're going for two. I'm thinking there's going to be a fair bit of action here. 40 cars. We're going to see carnage, so I'm going to go for two in each race. I mean, it's the main reason I came to commentate tonight, buddy. It's 86s and, 40 plus cars.
Yeah, definitely not wrong about that. I mean, it's just so much fun to be out there. Obviously missing out tonight, but it's so tough. Like I try to put like 110% in my car, and just like some of these drivers can just 12 it off the limit even more. So I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen tonight. To see Sam on board, I have raced against him in 86s before, and this man is very quick for an old fella.
Yeah, I know Sam was in the F3 chat last night watching the racing as well, so he's a fan of SRW both on and off the track. At the moment, it is Jack Gronewood that has the fastest time out there, 58.9. That's a pretty good time early on. As you said, the guys get into the 58s, and, he's probably still trying to get these tyres up to temp. 5-6 minutes in.
Yeah, well, they got 10 laps to do it as well, so which is really good. It's better than a 1 or 2 lap. You actually can get into a good momentum and have a very good chance of getting into the 58s.
I know when I had a bit of a drive of these, I think in, what was the last round or maybe in the off season, and one of our fun nights here, but it does take a little bit of time to get the tyres up to temperature, and it seems to me, an understeery beast, and you don't have the throttle of the V8 where you can just make the rear step out. Here, you've actually got to really manhandle it and blow the front down to get it turned in.
Yeah, definitely not wrong about that, but we also got to be very careful with the curbs as well when you hit them around the corner, because once your rear end lifts up, you're on 3 wheels. If you step on the accelerator, you just loop it 360, that's it, you're done. So obviously that's just a key thing when you're out there doing qualifying and even in the race, just to make sure you don't make that error. Just make sure that you're on all 4 wheels before you step on that accelerator.
Well, I think a curb came and bit me because I think it was a Canadian Tire that race, and the big double apex right-hander at the bottom, Sterling Moss corner, that's right, and hitting that inside curb. I know that spun me, so I certainly have a little bit of experience what you're talking about here. There you see there using all of the exit Connor. I wonder if that actually counted or gave him an off track going onto the grass there. I think you can, as long as you keep 2 tyres in on the inside there, you're good. But what was it like out there, Sheepy? Pretty close on those track limits?
Yeah, you can be very close to the track limits. I think actually coming into this corner now, if you just dip a little bit too much on the exit, you will get a 3-second slowdown. So that is very harsh. Considering you want to be as much on the left as possible to gain as much time going into the second half of the race. But these curbs around the chicane, you can get off tracks on there very easily. So it's very difficult to keep it nice and clean out there, as we've just seen, just hitting that curb.
And we're gonna have to keep an eye on that. If you're saying there's a 3-second slowdown there, get a slowdown in that section, and it's going to create its own world of chaos as well for these guys.
Yeah, definitely not wrong about that. We see Stephen out there who's slowly getting quicker and quicker along the way, but it's good to see him out there tonight.
Yeah, the racecraft machine there for SRW, looking good on the side of that car. I do know the Spinovic name that he has taken on board with gusto. So his name is actually Sinkovic, but we'll go with Spinovic. He certainly has earned that moniker over several seasons here at SRW, but we love him getting in and having fun.
I definitely had a couple last night as well in the Formula 3s I did witness, so yeah, hopefully tonight's a little bit more stable out there, but yeah, like I said, it's a very, very challenging track. It's nice and small, but with 40 plus cars, a bit chaotic at times.
Looks like Jamie Christensen has also joined Jack in the 58s. There is only, 600ths of a second there separating the two. Dylan DeBono, who was listed as an amateur in the F3s last night and ended up finishing P3 in the first race of P2 outright in both races. I noticed on the standing chart this morning, there doesn't look like there's an AM next to his name anymore. Straight up into the pros. He's leading the championship after the first round, so I think that's good.
It definitely had a bit of banter with the teammates last night. Everyone was saying good luck for being in the AM for more than one race.
That's right. He's just done a 58.96 as well and jumped into P2. So, real world driver, enjoys his XLs. I think he's racing at the moment. Yeah. And, I suppose this thing would probably be fairly similar to the XLs. That real world experience, look, I suppose if you're fast in the real world with seat time, you're going to be fast in the sim as well.
Yeah, I definitely think you're correct on that. It's just, I'm actually really surprised to see him in the 58s very early on, to see Jamie Christensen knocking off P1 right now, but yeah, it's just so close, like not even a second between first and 25th.
There's 2,000ths of a second. So Jamie Christensen just did a 58.925. That's 2,000ths of a second ahead of Jack. So, it's close.
Yeah, a little bit too close for comfort for some drivers, I reckon. Oh, it's going to be very hectic.
Joe in the chat there, going to sound like couples therapy for us two. Yeah, well, Sheepy made a mistake of getting in front of me last night. No, I think it was he got checked up and I got checked up and there was all sorts of shenanigans going. I think I got a black flag on Tuesday night, so, maybe I was a little bit aggressive, but certainly try and see if I can compete with these boys up the front and push hard. Hey, Connor, we saw you out there in practice, buddy. If you're out there on the track, you're not putting in a quality time, buddy, or just a practice tonight? Just having a look at the moment. It's Jamie Christensen. So, we've got about... how much time we got left? We've got 20 seconds left, so I think the standings aren't going to change much. Jaden Basilage, he's jumped up into P5 with a late lap there as well. The grandpa Doug Gownsing P6, but being a sprint round, they're about to disappear off the track in a second or two and won't get to finish their laps. There we go. All right, buddy. Well, we can have a look at the grid for the first race tonight. It is a sprint round feature, so it's a 20-minute race followed by a 40-minute feature race, all brought to you thanks to Shannons. It's awesome to have their sponsorship, both for the F3s and the GR86s. Here is the grid for tonight's first race. Jamie Christensen will take out the Racecraft Fastest Lap Award and puts a P1 for the sprint heat. Next to him, we have Jack Gronwald. Row 2 is Dylan DeBono, Josh Horton. We're going to have to try and move through these as quick as we can because there's like 40 cars. Jaden Basilage and the grandpa Doug Gowans in row 3. We've got Lockie Breath and Sam Katakunzinos. I'm sure I've got that wrong, Sam. But these things, and then we've got Nathan Kane and Cameron Edwards running out the top 10. Do you want to take the next 10, Sheepy?
Yeah, we've got David Gallo and Daniel Burns, both the Kittens teammates, so it's good to see them up there in the G86 with Daniel Fridge and Cody Metcalf as well. Followed by them is Tim Korn and Andrew Lydon, with John McHenry very far down per normal, and same as Callum Hodgkinson as well in P18. We've got Graham Nucky and Connor Nixon in P19 and 20. And got Cameron Hardwick and Mark Cockwood. It should be a good battle between those two out there. Continue going. We've got Dylan Badlini and Curtis Jackson in P23 and 24. Followed by them is Ryan Price and Ryan Green, so the battle of the Ryans. Got Ryan Everidge and Philip Buckland in P27 and 28. And followed behind them is Pete Wilkinson and Christensen Wells.
Right, the cars are on the grid, so we might have to keep an eye out. Yeah, it looks like we're about to go green, buddy, so let's get straight to the action. This is round one of the Shannons GR86 Nationals, brought to you by Sim Racing World TV. This is going to be an awesome night of racing. The pace car leading away, so no standing start. That may well be a wise decision by race control to set it up that way when there is 42 cars out there, or 41.
Yeah, probably roughly 40 cars.
40,
I'm not out there
40
in the north.
cars.
Yeah.
Look at that. Well, you were one of them there, buddy, but you're sitting next to me, so I know I do a bit of talking and driving on my own stream, but it might be a bit hard to commentate. Do that at the same time. All right.
Very
Well,
hectic.
so you raced with these boys last year. Who were the people to keep an eye out from last season that are here, Sheepy?
So we've got Jaden Baslak out there, who's a very, very quick driver and one to keep out. He's actually looked like he'd really improved over the off season. As well as that, got Dylan DeBono. Hopefully he can stick for a full season as well. He was very quick as well last season when he was out. He, I think, won all three at Phillip Island last season. So there's just so many more. There's got a couple a bit more further back, which I was very surprised. Like John McHenry is a very good, solid, quick driver. It's a little bit further back than normal. Same thing with Callum Hodgkinson next to him as well. So it's very interesting.
Names out there too, I think, too, buddy. So be interesting to see who's brought the pace tonight. We can see a mix of sort of pro and am sort of all through the ladder, but here we go, getting ready to go green. The pace car about to pull in. The guys all waiting on the lights. And there we are. It is round one of the Shannons GR86 is underway, and it looks like...
Amy Christensen's out in lead.
Yeah, I was looking at my timing and I was looking at P18, not P1. So it is Christensen that will lead the field around. The rest are snuggling behind. I can see a gaggle of cars in the background, but at the moment the leader's content to just go file by file. I think round the back through here, there's not really more than one racing line. Already DeBono having a little bit of a sniff there into the back turn for the back straight. Is that McHenry going up the inside there?
Tricky.
Lockie, something's happening. He's off the side of the road there. A couple of cars rejoining on the wide part of the track. Tumbling down the order. Lockie Brett. I think it was Andrew Lydon's down at 5. Graham Nucky's down 4. So a couple of guys getting caught out there. But at the moment, it is Christensen leading DeBono. Oh, no, there's more battling going on. Watching my live time here. It's Christensen leading DeBono, Gromald, Horton, and Basilage are the top 5 at the moment. But you can see on track the action is close and it's frantic. And they've only got 20 minutes, buddy.
Yeah, 20 minutes to make a lot of time, and it's going to be very difficult to... All you have to do is keep it clean, just make sure other drivers in front of you make a mistake. As you see, just Dylan sitting behind Jamie Christensen. I remembered from 2 seasons ago, Jamie was outright the quickest in the league. So it's good to see him return, and obviously we've seen Dylan compete against him for P1. So yeah, between the top 3 here, anyone can win it.
Well, at the moment, just looking there. Sorry, Connor, I missed your quote there earlier, asking for the cam link. Yeah, look, I'm still getting things sorted out. You know, unfortunately, Shibby's, you know, had an emergency the other night that made it unable for us to broadcast the,
The V8
broadcast the V8 amateurs. I just heard on the radio someone got disqualified, so I don't know if that is true or not. But might be my crew chief telling me lies. But this is a close battle here. Groenhold is really pushing DeBono hard, trying to find a way through. But these front 3, they've already got a second or so on Horton in 4th, and he's got 3 seconds on Vassilish back in 5th. So I think that's maybe where we saw a couple of those guys tumble out. They were in that gap. You can already see like a 3-second gap back from Horton to Basilage, and it's a 4-horse race, and if Horton doesn't pick up the pace, it might be a 3-horse race. He's got to try and stay on the back here.
Yeah, I mean, the boys at the front got into the 58, so I'm not very surprised that they're making a bit of a gap. As I see the car on mowing the lawns at the moment and just lost a couple of positions because of it.
He's
But
just run a little wide
yeah,
there on the
Nathan Kane's
grass.
going out a little bit wide, but it's very good actually. I'm very happy 4 minutes in and no safety car. These boys are keeping it nice and clean for the first race, which is enormous, really, in honesty. You see Nathan Kane just
Oh,
trying to regain some positions.
I saw how these cars are fairly easy to break, and then when they don't want to steer, or that's
That's
Tim
Dominic Henry.
Haunt who's
Behind
you
it.
know gone off, and he's dropped a few positions there. We've still got movement in up around the front. Doug Gowans, I think, right in the hunt there. Cameron Edwards, Sam
Oh, just
Orr,
lost
who's
the
that?
back end. It's Tim Court just losing the back end on the
Was
replay,
it?
unfortunately.
Yep, okay. And that's, I think, again, that was what you were talking about before, buddy, with the curbs just unsettling the car.
Yeah,
Now,
Defoe's lost a lot
I
of
do
positions too.
apologise. I started to answer Connor's question in the chat, and then I got distracted. But yeah, the reason we don't have the cam league, Shibby's sort of looking after that sort and all of it, but he's just had, an emergency come up right in the first week, and it made it a little hard. And awesome to see Pete Morris back. First race back in a very long time, buddy. I hope you're loving it out there.
Yeah, so we've got
Oh,
the replay here. So
something's
Dylan
happened
Defoe
to.
has lost 6
Yeah.
positions. Oh,
Tapped in the. Oh,
it's
so
just
that's
gone a little
cost
bit
him
too
a
hard going
few.
into the corner.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's just
Oh, so I
unfortunate
think there
there.
might have been a tap there, and he's lost the rear, and then it's gone around. And fortunately, I think it was Jack behind him had no way of really avoiding him at that point. So that has cost. Where he's still he's sitting back in P8 now. So unfortunate, but I suppose these things happen in racing. Here is that
That's a safety
Connor
car.
Nixon here. Oh, it is a safety car. Does look like
Mm.
everyone's slowing down, doesn't it?
Yeah, everyone has slowed down. You see Jamie Chris isn't
Yeah,
out
I
and
can see it is safety
yeah.
car, safety car. So we've had a couple of moments out there.
Oh, there's a car
I
upside down. I think there's a car upside down. That is why the safety car is out. I'm not
know.
100% sure who it is though.
Phil Buckland off
There we are.
Cameron Edwards, Phil Buckland.
That's
Isn't it? Yeah, it is
impressive.
Phil Buckland upside down. And then,
Oh
that's
no.
the so that's the sticky grass. So that is really sticky. Like, is it wet out there? Because that dug a big indent to flip like that, didn't it?
Yeah, I think it's just new physics. But in saying that as well, the G86s are very easy to tip upside down, and as poor Philip just learnt just then, he can still be a little turtle stuck on
Yeah,
himself. So
but sideways grass slide and the physics flipping you, that might be a bit of a horror situation for the 86s if iRacing, if that continues. Note to self, don't go sideways on the grass. Well, that's
yeah,
a
you
note to
can't go
field.
drifting on the grass, unfortunately.
Well, it will make for an interesting season. I do know, I think there was already been a couple of hot fixes since iRacing's last big update. So, little tweaks, but I suppose the biggest travesty of the grass physics now, buddy, is that we've lost the jump at Bathurst.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Not just the jump at Bassett, but there's a couple of other jumps out there that we can't do no more. But I gotta say, it's gotta create better racing, So it's not like driving on ice out there no more. So which is good, Just be a little bit more realistic with what the actual grass does in terms of racing. So yeah, unfortunately the jump is gone, and maybe iRacing can bring it back with a special treatment maybe.
I don't know if they're going to put a bit of tarmac there down to those tyre barriers there just to give us the jump, but but I suppose but watching that with the car really sticking in sideways and rolling, that certainly could be something that they may need to fix down the track. We'll have to see how bad it is and if it catches anyone else out tonight.
Oh, yes and no. I mean, I think it's pretty realistic when you think about it. Like, if you've got to go 90 degree or 180 degrees facing the wrong way into the grass, it's got to tip upside down. The momentum's got to change in the car. So,
If it was wet, yeah. If the grass was wet, something to dig in. But if it was, fairly dry, you would just slide there. That's my thing. And maybe, I know that that sort of seemed to be more like what would happen in the gravel trap, not the grass. So, maybe that's what grass has all become gravel, and we don't have that distinction yet. But any case, the safety car is still out there. Jamie Christensen leading the field. We are about 9 minutes into this, so we've got about 11 minutes to go at the moment. I didn't hear on the radio if race control was going in or not. Did you happen to hear that, gents?
No, you're definitely not in, otherwise he would already left the field a couple of corners ago, so it's one more lap, I believe, under the safety car.
Okay.
It's actually interesting as well. We see Sam Kazuni's going up slowly up in the field in P6 as well, and Cameron Edwards as well. I think he might be a pro driver as well, according to the seat that got released. So I think the first AM driver is actually all the way down to P17 off Lockie Brett. So I believe the first 16 are all pro drivers out there. Actually, I've got Nathan Kane off. Didn't see that name. Nathan Kane, so currently P1 overall. And the AMs was good to see. But what's your
race
thoughts
control,
so far?
Looks like race control is now starting to pull away from the field. The instruction for the leader to keep 70 kilometres an hour, I think it was.
Yeah, what's your thoughts in the last 10 minutes of this race? Do you reckon that Jamie can hold on, or do you reckon Jack or maybe Joss from behind can do a surprise attack?
Look, I don't know if the straight is long enough here to really give you big advantage of the toe. I think it's going to come down to how brave you are on that last corner coming down the hill, how much speed you carry, rather than the toe being a big moment. So I suppose that does give Christensen, the chance to maximise his launch here and stave him off into turn one. We'll keep an eye out. I reckon he's going to go now.
Yeah, still
No,
holding
he
him
hasn't. He's holding them up. Interesting. He's going to hold them right to the line. Oh, we might see a bit of concertina going on here. Watching the field, bunching up.
Still hasn't gone yet. He's still bunching them up.
I don't think the race control only now just got into the pits. I think he was clear. All right, they're off and racing. He's already trying to get some heat into those tyres. But he has, we got... No, it was all good through the back there for a moment. I thought I saw something drastic happening in the back. A bit of contact there. That Fritzy... Cameron Edwards and De Bono there, was it? Okay.
Yeah, De Bono trying to regain a few positions after the mishap early on in the race.
Yeah, look, he's aggressive, but he is fast as well. We saw there, who was that?
No.
That Callan
Hunt. Oh, no!
Contact.
That's when Luke Simon's entering in.
He's just snapped around, and unfortunately,
Cody had
there might have been a tap in the rear there as well. So Edwards is just... Yeah, that's the curve. It was all curve, as you said before. He's lost it, and then unfortunately, who was that?
I think that is Cody Metcalf.
Dougie Gowans, I think. Is it that? Metcalf, sorry. Thank you. Cody Metcalf. I think there was a bump there that meant that he had nowhere to go as well. So far, no safety cars, so it looks like those cars have got going again, buddy, but we are inside 8 minutes to go, so maybe another 7 laps? 8 laps?
Yeah, 7 to 8 laps, just depends when they cross over the finish line. They're just on, I think there's 8 laps in total left, as long as they keep it nice and clean, but it's a really good battle with the top 3 right now, very close within 1 second. Jaden just a little bit further back from where he wants to be, and I see Dylan De Bono regained up to P5, so he's got to try and make as much time as possible in the next 7 minutes.
There's a few passes sort of happening in the backfield, and Christian Wells got around Cullen Hodgkins, and Cullen Hodgkins had a moment because Stephen Brooks got past him as well. So now Brooks running up in as at P26, I think he's running in at the moment.
Oh no, the
P28.
big contact around the last corner. Just saw a car just went straight into the wall.
Oh, that Cameron Edwards is. Something's happened to him. Is it Wilkinson? Something's happened to him as well.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Oh, here's the
all right, here we go.
Oh,
Oh,
three
three
wide.
wide, and then
And
just got
gone.
squeezed. And unfortunate, that wouldn't have been real. I don't know if that was anyone's fault there. Once you get sort of close contact like that, it only takes one bump the wrong way, and then we got Caspar, and big dodge there from Buckland.
He might be just waiting for the car to go by, make sure it doesn't cause any havoc.
Yeah, there's no safety car, so we are continuing on. It is Christensen and Groenwald P1 and P2 at the moment. Horton is staying with them, and he's putting the pressure on Groenwald at the moment. De Bono is on the back of Basilage as well. So a couple little battles going on here, and looks like they're already starting to catch up to some lap traffic as well.
Yeah, this race going to be a little bit hectic because it just depends on when the leader gets into the blue flag cars.
Drive-through penalty for Lockie Brett for passing before the control line as well, buddy. So Lockie was having a great start there. I think the safety car maybe helped him recover a little bit, but now it's all been thrown away with a drive-through.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. He's in the top 10 as well currently, so that's a massive loss for him, unfortunately, for this race.
Well, at the moment, the big winners so far, Connor Nixon up 12 spots in P8. We have Ryan Green up 13 spots in P13, and Christian Wells up 12 spots in P18. So three big movers tonight. And Greg Johnson also starting last tonight, finding himself in 22nd. So right in 20 spots from Greg in there. From Greg there. So yeah. But it is the battle up front that we are keeping an eye on here. Dylan De Bono running P4 now as he got past Bachelage. He's got 1.8 seconds. Is that 1.2? That's not an interval, body. That's from the leader, is it?
That's
an interval. Yep. So he does have 1.8 seconds to catch Horton, who's about 6/10 back from Groenwald, who's about 8/10 back from Christensen. So still pretty close. We have about 4 minutes to go, so maybe 4-5 laps at most. The other thing to keep an eye on, Sheefy, is the reason I called you Fritzy there for a minute, buddy, is because we've got to keep an eye on P10, who's currently P10, and it's Fritzy in P10. So.
It was actually good to see him up in P10. He must be keeping it very nice and clean, the old teammate, so he's doing a very good job to slowly climb up the field, but I believe it is a top 20 invert, is it not?
It's the top 20 inverted. I thought it'd be a reverse top 10. It is invert 20. Wow. So we've got to keep an eye on 20th, which at the moment is Dylan Budzemi at the moment. So that top 10 shakes it up. Top 20, oh my God.
Yeah, well, definitely, it's always interesting to see where people are as well. Like, I mean, some of the drivers that is between 1st and 10th might be a little bit slower compared to the drivers in 11th and 20th, just depending on if they get caught in an incident. So it can definitely shuffle the grid completely for the next race. As we see John McHenry on screen, he's trying to move up the field as much as possible and stuck behind his teammate currently with Tim, who's also a quick driver as well. So
Pete Morris also a beneficiary of a drive-through penalty. Didn't hear what that was regarding, but already a couple of guys feeling the long arm of the law. But here we are having a look at Green and Lydon, who's right on the back here, the Kittens machine, and ahead of him is John McHenry. This is the battle for P11, I think, at the moment. Tim Court in front. John McHenry, Ryan Green, Andrew Lydon. And you can see Mark Cochrane not far behind that battle as well. It's one of the things that we see it in the F3s. We see it, you know, when you start to get caught in a battle, that's when you slow everyone up and the guys behind you get a sniff and get to catch back up. We can see here Green really trying to put the pressure on McHenry, trying to go around the locked-on racing machine, but he's done well. He's closed that off.
Done a very good job. It's just got to make sure you don't touch that curb. You can lose a fair bit of time doing it, and then if that allows the car behind to set up in the inside here, it can be very dangerous. But
Oh, Ryan's got a
Green,
great run through the slingshot there, and I think that's one of the Alpha Venturi racing machines. Good to see those boys back racing as well. But yeah, he got a great run through the little chicane, but you can see that he had to check up, and now that has opened the door for Andrew Lydon to try and run up the inside.
and which he's done as well. Andrew Lydon got into P13, but I think Ryan Green just got him back again. So it's a very good battle.
Who's going to outbreak who?
Oh.
Lydon's gone in nice and deep, and Green just had to, get that little bit of a weight shimmy that meant he stayed to stay on the brake a little bit longer. So he's got the job done there. The Kittens machine up into P13. All right. We'll have a look through the field. Have we got any other really nice close battles going on?
You got a close battle for P2 currently as well.
Oh, look, DeBono right on the back of Horton now. This is the battle for P2, and he's shown plenty of pace. Horton defending the inside.
It's going to be very, very clean here.
I'd say that, we got about 10 seconds to go, so this will likely be the final lap. I don't know if that's something you can check, Brett. No idea, unfortunately, but I'd say we are pretty much looking at the final lap. There it is, final lap. So DeBono has gotten past, and Horton's made a mistake there, and he's given up P3 as well, as Gromwald has come through.
Yeah, something must be happening with Josh. Could you just let Dylan DeBono go in the first corner way too much, and then all of a sudden...
I think he might have outbroke himself there, buddy. Gone deep, and he's let the boys through, but that's cost him time. He could have even gone on the grass as well. But he's trying to fight back. Gromwald is right on the back of DeBono now. Christensen has run away with this. He's almost 5 seconds in front as he does come across the line to take out the race win here for the first of our two races here tonight. Dylan DeBono finishing P2. Jack Gromwald P3. Great drive from those, and unfortunately Joshua Horton, he was right P2 on the last lap there, and you blink and you finish fourth.
Yeah, very unfortunate there, but I've got to say though, I've been finishing P4 in such a strong group of drivers. You'd still be very happy with that. I mean, it's a lot of learning lesson that a lot of the drivers got to do in the first race. They know who they can race against and who's a little bit quicker, who's a little bit slower. So maybe next race in Invert 20 can stake a lot of drivers around to see Cam Hardwick and Wayne Average coming across the line.
Jaden Basilage finishing in P5. Sam Katakuzinos. I'm going to keep getting that wrong, Sam. But P6, nice work. Connor Nixon up 13 spots for P7. Doing quite well. I think Nathan Kane, the first of our amateur drivers, P8. So really showing his class around Lime Rock Park here tonight. David Gallo, P9. Daniel Fitz, P10. Tim Corn, P11. John McHenry, P12. There's a great battle going on there. Andrew Lydon, Mark Cochrane. Mark Cochrane has got Ryan Green there as well, because Green's finished 15th. So, don't know if something happened to Ryan there on that last lap, or the boys were able to catch him down. Graham Nucky, P16. And the timing's all reverted now as we go into the warm-up. So, I won't be able to read any more of the banner out.
We definitely got the Invert 20 right now.
Hang on. We've got a B main.
Yep.
As well.
Yep, B main and then feature.
Ah,
Yeah.
so this
invert
is
top
not
20.
just a sprint round, this is a super sprint round. Oh, I
Yep.
completely missed that. So 3 races tonight. We're talking about a 20 and a 40. It's going to be 3 20-minute races tonight. Lockie Brett will lead the field away for race number 2. Now, I think this race is an invert top 10.
20. Invert
So Doug
20.
Gowans, the grandpa P2, front row. Dougie will take advantage of that for sure. Christian Wells, Callan Hodgkinson, these are names that we're used to talking about near the pointy end. Well, they've positioned themselves perfectly for race number 2. We better keep an eye on the lights though, because they're about to go green, buddy. Even though we only
Yeah.
got to look at the first few cars on the grid.
Got a
But the
warning
pace car is leading the field away. So will be interesting to keep an eye at Jack Groenwald, Jaden Basilis, Dylan DeBono, Joshua Horton, all those guys around about P16, P20, P16 through to P20. So some fast guys deep. It's going to be interesting. Fiona, I would go to simracingworld.com.au, send the boys a message there, and you can talk. And I'm sure that there are sponsorship opportunities for all of our racing night. We race 5-6 nights a week back. I think we're doing again now, aren't we, Sheefy?
Yeah, 5 nights. You got Tuesday night V8 AMs, Wednesday night Formula 3, Thursday night you got GR86s, Friday night we've got the Imagers series, and the Sunday's the program for the V8s as well. So yeah, it's 5 nights total.
Yep. So look, Fiona, if you want to go to simracingworld.com.au and just you should be able to contact the boys through that, and they'll be able to see what we can all work out along the lines. All right, looking at the action here, the guys now just doubling up as we come around that. Yeah, we're coming down the final section now, aren't we?
Yeah, it's final section. You're just
There we
approaching
go.
the last corner now.
The field bunch back up. Now at the moment, I called 4 safety cars. We thought it was only going to be 2 races, but it's 3, buddy. Do you want to change your call now? Are you going to go with 2, or are you going to go 1 per race, so 3?
Oh, no, I'll stick with the 2. I think the third race will be very clean. So, still 2.
Oh, here they are. They have gone green, and we can see a 40-plus 86s out there. Battling for track position already. We're going 3 and 4 wide as we come down the straight into T1. I think it's a bit of a bumping and grind. A few pass moves made already, but they're clean. The leaders are clean through T1.
Now, very clean.
Sam's down 4 spots, so he's got caught on the outside. Nathan Kane, so he's been caught on the outside there of a couple of corners as well. And I think it's one of the things sometimes you get caught on the outside and 2 or 3 cars. Oh, someone's got turned around. Who's that? Tim Court has got spun around there.
No, Connor Nixon.
Connor Nixon. Oh.
So
what's
just
happened
here?
Oh, he's bumped by his
teammate. Oh no.
No, but then his teammate got bumped as well. So, unfortunately, I think that's probably going to be a racing incident. Boys just trying to run bumper to bumper and line of stern. And who's that? That is Philip Buckland. It looks like something's happened to him coming out of the chicane there.
Yeah,
just looped the car around, has he? A little bit of contact? No?
You hit the curb, I think. Yeah,
oh, no, curb and a bit of contact up alongside. 2 maybe trying to go into 1 there, or 1.5.
I just see all the headlights are going onto the cars as well, so
oh,
it's becoming a bit of a night. Oh no, that's
contact. Oh, Doug Gowan's caught up in that as well. I saw Dylan DeBono's name pop up on the timing sheet. We can have a look to see what happened there, buddy, because looks like there was some names on the radio calling out. Oh, so someone turned around there. They've gone off. And then there's contact. And then there's a car not holding his brakes. Oh.
So David Gallo it is. Collided with Raven Marquez. Oh, no.
Look, he had... I don't know if he can get penalised for not holding his brakes because he was trying to go to the grass. He didn't realise Dylan was trying to, avoid him on the grass as well. So yeah, but see, look at that. It's just, I think he was trying to get off the track. Oh, contact, bumps.
Oh,
Oh.
chaos everywhere. Absolute chaos. Just cars flying left, right,
Well,
and
you did
centre.
say you were going to talk about the chicane on lap 1, buddy. It's lap 3, but still. Oh, cars getting spun. Oh, we're more loose cars there.
I can't believe it. It's just an effect. Just car going left, right, and centre, just trying to get all the track as much as
Yeah.
possible.
All right, well, let's go back to
Cross
live
out.
action because we've seen a fair few looks at that contact there. It'll be up to race control to decide how all of that sorts out. But lots of close racing happening. But it is
Lucky Brett, the leader.
Lockie Brett had a drive-through penalty in race 1 for jumping the safety car. Battling hard here with Callan Hodgkinson. These two boys battling hard at the front here. And it looks like they've built out a little bit of a gap. They've got about a second on Ryan Green in P3 behind him now. So Ryan, when I think Lockie got past him there, he got caught on the outside, and that's dropped him back a little bit.
It's good to see the battle royale between Doug and Andrew
Oh,
Lydon.
there's more
Q4, they're
contact
both
for the looks of that as well.
Christian Wells going backwards.
Christensen Wells has gone off. Greg Johnson's off. Ryan Price off. Oh.
I wonder what happened there. A couple of drivers are going backwards on the field. Let's replay
Oh,
on.
Jedi Boy missed in the first round, but you're up at the mountain, buddy. Well, the
Oh,
mountain
no.
is the place to be this week, but oh, look at that. Again, it's just close racing and those curbs, and you can see where a few of the guys are taking a chance there because you can get a really fast run out of the chicane if you do ride the curb, but it looks like it's a fine line between getting it right and getting it wrong. And then you spin in front of the car behind, and if he's trying to do the same thing, it could just be carnage, and that's what we're seeing.
Yeah, no, a little bit of kind. Three cars trying to battle for the same piece of tarmac. It doesn't really work out as much. We see Andrew Lydon just following Doug Gowans. See, nice and clean, knows not to make contact. He's in a really good position. It's a top 10 invert for the next race, so he knows that he's very happy at the moment. As we're on board with Andrew Lydon just coming around the last corner.
Oh, the Warren and Brown Tools cockpit cam here. Get a good look on the inside here. And Fiona, just to answer your second question there, I'm a commentator, so I'm not actually, on the admin side myself. So your best bet will be to contact the boys at Sim Racing World through the website there, and they should be able to give you all the information you're looking for. But yes, I heard on the radio there, Jamie Christensen has been given a black flag. Wayne Edwards also with black flag. So I think incident responsibility on those cases. So our race 1 winner, not only is he deep in the pack, running I think 17th at the moment, but he will be serving a drive-through penalty very soon.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. It was only top 10 invert for this race too, so with 14 to go, it's got to be a very hard task for him to try and catch any position. Just to see John McHenry on board with him now, he's currently P10, so if he stays in the position, he will be on pole position for the next race. But yeah, these boys here
on
just...
radio, they're just making a comment about blue flags. So already, we're starting to see a few of the guys that got caught up in incidents or have made mistakes are now right in, in front of the leaders. Dylan DeBono back in 30th position at the moment, so 36th, sorry. So, again, and we're talking fast front runners that are finding themselves back there. Is that Greg Johnson there with a little excursion on the grass? I think he might be just getting out of the way of a few people. Or is that car suffered a bit of damage?
Yeah, just making sure he doesn't cause any havoc. No, with the complaint for the blue flag, he doesn't want to be involved in it. As I see, Ryan Green in P3 really silently gone up the grid, so a couple
the
of...
Grand Gowans P4, Andrew Lydon P5. I suppose the one to keep a big look, Jack Gromwald and Joshua Horton, up 12 and 10 positions at the moment, those boys. So they have certainly managed to, stay afoul of any wrongdoings out there. But at the moment, it is Lockie Brett that is leading with about 12 and a half minutes to go of this race.
And he's doing
So
a very
far,
good job.
so
Lucky
good.
Buck.
We're clean.
His teammate Kurt Jackson 13th. He just went on the grass just then, coming out of the exit of turn 2. Just Cameron.
Russell
Yes.
Gander car 265 has been, is that a DQ disqualified? So don't know what happened there.
Yeah, that means that he won't be racing the rest of the race.
Well, that's right. Would that mean he would be out of the race number 3 as well? So don't know what happened there.
See Doug Gowan just battling 3 wide coming into
Oh, look
turn
at this.
1.
Andrew Lydon, right, he's looking to try and start the inside.
Oh,
Oh, Green getting
Green.
loose there. Maybe a little bit of contact. We did say Robbins Racing in the GR86 series. I think it's more that these cars, are so light and nimble that they can change direction and jostle around quite well.
Jack
Try
is
and do
coming
this
in
sort of
on
racing
the
in a
inside before
supercar.
the slingshot as well. This is, ooh, he did back out there.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
God for that.
I think it might be a smart call there because we've seen a few people try to go up the inside there, and that inside curb has really spelt doom here at Lime Rock Park tonight.
Yeah,
Daniel Winrow, car number 23, black flag for contact as well. So, we did say we thought there'd be a bit of action and carnage here tonight. Well, race control having to dish out the penalties. Again, I mean, the boys racing hard. Something's happened to Peter Morris. And there's another car on the inside there, so there's contact as well.
he's going really slow, isn't he?
Who was that with? Is that contact with Tim Horn, maybe, was it?
It looks like it. A
Yeah.
lot on boy. Oh no. Oh, and then he
Wow.
unfortunately got hit later on as well. So Tim Cont just tried to go on the outside and just, yeah, fighting for the same piece of tarmac is not going to work, unfortunately.
No, you're right.
So they, ooh, almost made contact there, but yeah, unfortunately that poor car there on the right of the screen just crabbing along back to the picture. We see Ryan Green in P7, so he slowly drifted back. He was in P3 a couple laps ago, now he's in P7, so I think these faster boys have really caught up to him and made the most out of it. It's chaotic as well. We see Mark Cochran currently in P10 as well, so he's in the last piece of, well, I was saying he was in the last piece. Cody Metcalf is now in P10, so he has made it into the invert of the top 10. A massive battle here going on. We also got Daniel Burns as well, which is a kitten driver trying to move up the field as well. Good to see him out there in the GR86s. You normally see the kitten boys in the Formula 3s or open wheels, but good to see them battling out with the rest of the boys out there today. Oh no, Cody's up the corner there. That's a massive slowdown too, and he's had the service, so that would give Mark P10 again.
Yeah, he's getting a run, and this is the all-important P10. It will be a reverse top 10 for the final race tonight in our super sprint. Austin here of the Shannons GR86 Nationals. Big thanks to Shannons and all our sponsors. It's awesome to have them with us. Racecraft, Warren and Brown Tools. You know them all too, Sheepy. Yeah. We've got heaps of sponsors there. Rare Spares. We got the Sim Rigs, the Tempting Sweets boys. Do we need to do a Tempting Sweets driver of the night tonight to think about as well, Sheepy?
Oh, it's going to be very difficult to do that.
Across 3 races, buddy. Can be a bit like that, buddy, but you'll just have to grin and bear it. But at the moment, Lockie Brett, he has a 2.3 second lead. Look at this battle here. Is that Andrew Lydon?
With Jack as well, battling for P4. And to see Carl just behind, very quick as well.
Joshua Horton, I think that's back there, so he's coming right on the back. We've seen something happened to
Oh no, Callum went off the track.
Jack Gromwald is up in P3 now. I was looking for our big leader from race number 1, and he's Jack finished second or third, I think he finished.
Third, yeah.
So he's up 15 positions now into P3, so having a cracker of a race.
Yeah.
And
I'll
Doug
see a
Grandpa
couple.
Gowan's up in P2, so some big runners here at the moment. Lockie Brett, can he hold them off? That gap is coming down. He's got 7 minutes left of this race, though, so it's one thing for the field to catch him. It's another thing for them to pass him. And I think Doug might have to soon worry about Jack Groenewald, who's going to be right on his tail before too long. So...
No, I'll see a couple of people.
Peter Wilkinson, black
oh, no,
flag.
Peter.
Curtis Jackson, black flagged. So more
Massive chaos on the
more
track.
penalties from race control there. And who's that on the inside there? The Castrol machine.
There's a couple of cars off track there coming out of turn 2, so something must have happened between 3 or 4 drivers there.
I think maybe it's a few of these back markers just getting themselves on the grass to get out of the way as well. So, if they are doing that, kudos to you if you are one of those people. But yes, there's certainly plenty happening out there at the moment, buddy. And, hard to stay on top of all of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I see in the comments as well, a couple of people going, oh, what's with the night races? Well, why wouldn't you have a night race when you've got headlights on? It looks nice and beautiful out there, and different aspect of racing, I say.
Well, I think that maybe there wasn't too much thought put into the start time, because another 20 minutes after this, we might actually see these cars driving in the pitch blackness. But it does look pretty good, this sort of that twilight where you can still see the car liveries, but the light's shining through, but it is starting to get dark.
Yeah, just a little bit darker. We see Jack just trying to approach Doug as quick as possible for P2, but just backed out there just before you before you want to hit a curb and make a mistake and go backwards, because we've got Joshua Horton and Andrew Lydon pretty much behind him as well. So one mistake can be very costly for a top 10 invert position.
Oh, that's it. Well, at the moment, Lockie Brett is hanging on. That gap is now down to only 1.5 seconds. So the grandpa Doug Gowans is putting the hunt on. Jack Groenewald behind him, pushing him along. So, Jack having a little bit of a sniff on the inside. I was going to say, as long as these two aren't battling, they can work on trying to bridge the gap to Lockie in front. But if they start battling, that's what Lockie wants to see. He wants to see them fighting each other and in their mirrors. At the moment, he's doing all he can. And as we said, Sheepy, it's one thing to catch someone. It's another thing to get around them and pass them.
Yeah, I think Jack's doing the smart thing. He knows that Doug is quick enough to try and catch up to Lockie. If he's quick enough to make more than 1.5 seconds in the next 4 minutes, I don't know. But he's keeping it nice and clean. He knows that if he makes a mistake, it costs both drivers, if not more, behind. So he's just keeping it nice and calm behind and just taking his time.
Ryan Price, car number 56, also another driver who's fallen foul of the long arm of the law tonight, having to serve a drive-through penalty. Sam there with a nice move to the inside. Doug Gowans and Jack Groenewald. Is Jack going off the inside? He's got it done into T1. Can Doug fight it back? But we've seen Jack has shown some awesome speed here tonight. He is up 16 positions. So P3 in race number 1, now P2 race number 2, showing his pace and probably the early tempting sweets front runner, because there still is one race to go, so we can't call it yet.
Yeah, oh no, there's been a massive
Oh
mishap.
man,
Lockie just completely lost all those positions, and he's still on the grass. Something must have happened.
oh no, what has happened to Lockie? So here we go, he's just taken a bit too much curb, has he? And that's broken the car.
Yep, that has broken the car.
Yeah, so underneath the car, he's lost all drive, so that's probably broken transmission or something when he went straight over the top of that curb. Oh, that is heartbreaking for Lockie, who was looking for...
no!
No! Is that Groenewald?
Yeah, Groenewald and just Horton just
And
caused
Horton.
contact.
Oh, Horton didn't
no.
know he was there.
And that just allowed Doug Gowans to take the lead as well.
Wow, so sort of Horton didn't know he was there. Well, we've just seen it, buddy. How crazy. We talk up the racing of these cars and how action-packed and close it can be. Well, we're sort of seeing it tonight. And again, I don't think Race Control's job for this race is done just yet. There's still only 2 minutes to go. And the grandpa, Doug Gowans, finds himself with a 1 second lead. Or 0.8 of a second over Jack Grunwald.
It's a very good gap at the moment. It was only approximately 2 laps to go, so he's got a nice, comfortable gap. And also, as well, Andrew Lydon as well, currently in P3, 2.5 seconds behind. So he knows for sure, Doug, if Jack is wanting to make a move, he can just back out and take P2 if he wants. But I definitely know the old man wants to win a race, so we'll see him battling out for P1.
Yeah, man. We'll have a look at who's sitting in P10 at the moment. Driver 808, Daniel Byrne for Kittens Racing. So he's put himself in a nice strategic position for the final race of tonight. So Cameron Edwards also P9. John McHenry, we talked how John has had a good 2 races so far tonight with a big climb in race number 1. And race number 2, he's held on to his position up 1 spot at the moment. Jamie Christensen, after that black flag, is now up in P7. So he has been showing blistering pace. And back in the hunt.
Yeah, I'm very surprised to see him, but as you see, just the last couple of laps, there's been massive chaos. There's 4 lead changes, and
True.
unfortunately, a couple of cars been damaged from hitting the curb a little bit too much. So it's just amazing as well. Like you see, Ryan Green as well. We had a little bit of mishap early on in the race, and he's in P6 as well. So a lot of these drivers are just, as long as you keep the car on the track, you will gain positions.
Was that McHenry on Christensen there? Was that for?
No, that was
No, that wasn't
under
for
Greg's.
position. That was just That's true. Greg Leake leading the guys through. So John McHenry P8 at the moment. So he's having a good run tonight. But it is this battle up front here. Doug Gowans leading Jack Grunwald, and we are what? How many
Finished.
minutes we got to go,
We're
buddy?
done. We are finished.
Is his final lap? Oh, we're done.
We're done.
Wow. So we missed the finish there, buddy.
No,
Well,
we didn't. We just looked lucky. Dougie did the celebration wave across the finish line, so
Well, he'd be stoked with that. The victory. I know it sort of fell into his lap, but 20-car invert nighttime isn't the best idea. We're about to find out how entertaining it's going to be, Jordan. Whether or not the drivers agree with us is a moot point, but you're not out there driving tonight, buddy. Neither am I. So I think it's going to be fun.
yeah. Luckily, this is only a 10-car invert in the last race, so I think a few of the boys out there are quick enough to keep it nice and clean. So I don't see any of them making too much of a big mistake at the start of the race.
It's going to be pitch black too, buddy, so that's going to make it even more interesting. Well, now I believe we're probably going to have a little bit of downtime before the final race tonight, do we? Yeah, we've got a 10-minute warm-up coming up for everyone to take a bit of a breath. But, mate, there was way too much happening there in that race for us to stay on top of it, Sheepy.
Yeah, definitely not wrong about that. I think it was hectic, that race. There was at least 3 or 4 cars been involved with something every lap. So, and also at one stage the lead changed 4 times in one lap. So it was pretty incredible seeing that. So, unfortunately, the broadcast isn't looking the best at the moment. It is dark out there. There's no lights as you can see. So, yeah, it's pretty amazing how dark it can be out there.
That's a nice little silhouette we have there. Oh, we have a look at the warm up, and if no one goes out on track, it might be fairly gloomy there for the cameras. So, what camera is this one, Mr. Wheelman? This is scenic.
Scenic? Oh no. So we'll go through the grid anyway off that second race as well. So we've got Doug Gowans, who finished in first position, so climbing up one position, he'll be very happy with that. And then you got Jack Grunwald, who gained 16 positions in that race alone to finish P2. Andrew Lydon finishing P3, so you'd be very happy with that. I think this is his first outing as well in the GR86, so he'll be delighted with that. Got Callum Hodgkinson finishing in P4, and Sam Kalakazunis in rounding out the top 5, so it's very good for them as well with that. And then you got Divine Green in P6, followed by Jamie Christensen, John McHenry, Cameron Edwards, and Daniel Byrne rounding out the top 10. So these drivers will be inverted for the next race. So Doug Gowans will start in P10, and Daniel Byrne will be starting on pole position alongside Cameron Edwards. So it's going to be very interesting to see what he does on the first lap coming into the first corner.
Oh. I think it's going to be hard to pick, though. Jack Grunwald, he has shown true pace and some good care there. Maybe a bit of luck as well, but he was, P18 at the start of last race, and he's brought it all the way through to P2. Yeah. So we'll start this race from P9, but that's a whole heap closer. We also saw Jamie Christensen make it back inside the top 10, so that's a good save from him as well. After his victory in race number 1, there was a drive-through in race number 2, and he's managed to fight his way back up. John McHenry, another name that we keep an eye on. He's got inside the top 10 and, picked up 2 good, healthy points hauls in the races so far tonight. Daniel Byrne, driver 808, we haven't seen much of him tonight, A couple of the other kittens in amongst the action there. Andrew Lydon, the main one, but good to see him strategically finding himself at the front row for race number 3. Knowing those kittens, boys, that wouldn't be planned, would it? Not at all.
No, not at all. There's a couple more positions as well gained. So Cameron Edwards, he started in P31 in that second race and finished in the top 10. So that's an enormous jump as well.
Yep.
So 22 position gain. But the driver to finish in P11 was Cameron Hardwick. He started in P33 and finished in P11. So he as well gained 22 position alone in that race. So just amazing some of the moves. Like you got Cody Metcalf, he had a bit of a mishap in the first race, and in the second one he gained 16 positions in total. So it's amazing how much the grid can suffer. Just keep it nice and clean, and off you go.
Wow. There was quite a few incidences in that last race there, Sheepy. What we see at least about 6 or 7 black flags issued. So probably half the field, got caught up in their own little moments or someone else's moment. So there's probably a few positions that those boys there got gifted to them, but you don't make 20 grid spots, 22 grid spots, 18 grid spots, completely because everyone crashed in front of you. There's some passes and some good driving involved in there as well.
Yeah, you're definitely correct on that. A lot of the drivers, you've got to keep it nice and clean yourself. It doesn't matter what other drivers do around you. If you're not clean, you're not going to gain any positions. And it's one thing that I've learned over time. Yeah, I'm not the quickest. I'm definitely honest with that. But if I keep it clean, I know I can get a good result. I will overtake cars. That are having a bit of a mishap here and there. So it's good to see that some of these boys are just showing their driver ability of keeping it on track and just keeping out of trouble. And that's what we need to do.
We see those iRacing monikers used to come up when you logged in through the website, when to finish first you must finish, and all those sort of monikers. It's exactly true. And again, you would generally see the guys that have got pace, they'll have pace across a multiple of cars, just that innate ability to drive the car closer to the limit, feel that limit a bit earlier. One of the great things about sim racing is the diversity, and you hear diversity of equipment, driver styles, all that sort of stuff. And then you get a league like Sim Racing World that just decides to jumble it all together. Let's put 40 odd of them together in an 86 on one of the smallest tracks in iRacing and see how they go.
Yeah, I definitely believe that it wasn't planned to have 40 odd cars at Lime Rock.
Let's make it a night as well, a night race as well.
Yeah, it's a bit of chaotic there, but No, I mean, to be honest, I think it's good to have a bit of experimentation as well and see how it goes. And
Oh,
it's
of
a
course.
good learning experience for the drivers as well. Like if they can drive this nice and clean as possible as they can, 40 cars. Let alone later in the season when the track's a little bit bigger. Maybe not in the pitch black, but I think I will enjoy it out there.
Okay, so you are firmly in the baptism of fire camp.
Absolutely, mate.
So the deep end is only a number. Okay, I understand. But no, look, it's been enjoyable to watch. I know. I don't think it was my plan to be commentating the 86s here tonight, but I am enjoying myself here, Sheepy, and you were an even later ring in than I was.
Yeah, I think I was the last minute. I was about to get ready for qualifying. I was in the rig ready to go, and all of a sudden, like, oh no, you need to call up. Can you come in? It's like, yes, sir, I can give a helping hand. So
Oh,
here I
I
am.
appreciate you being here, buddy. As I said, I've got a couple of gigs coming up, so I don't want to destroy my voice by commentating. One of those things when you're talking solo, um, and dead air is the enemy of a commentator. So, you know, at least I'm not talking to myself, though. I won't say that I don't do that either. Anyway, but
Yeah, I think everyone talks to themselves. Everyone's a bit crazy here and there, so you're not the only one to be talking to yourself sometimes.
it's only the depth that varies, buddy. So.
Absolutely.
All right, we've still got a couple of minutes here of the warm up, so just having a look at some of the cars twinkling around, getting those nice little shadow maps coming over the pit lane straight there as we see the guys go past. But yeah, look, quite interesting. Be interested to see how many guys have put in some good practice here. Line Rock, they've known about this for about a month, Sheepy. How many hours have you put in practicing around here, buddy?
Well, thankfully, Richie put up a practice session on Monday, and I put in 93 laps, plus a 20-minute race as well on top, so 113 laps on Monday alone. So I put a fair bit into this.
And then you end up sitting next to me. So I'm
Yeah,
sure some of
absolutely.
the other boys out here have been putting in just as much time.
No, I've been trying to spread out my time as much as possible. Trying to get my head around the V8 supercars. As you know, it's not an easy car to drive, and with the pedals I have, been the very bottom end. I'm finding it very difficult to keep the car on track. But yeah, just getting there slowly and just I give people credit. When you don't have loaded cells, and you can be just as quick as the boys with
Look,
top gear.
it's it's one of those things that equipment is not everything, but the bare minimum I think is a good brake pedal will get you quite far in these races.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like these cars, GR86, it's not too beneficial. I mean, you could be good no matter if you've got the top end or bottom end gear, but I think more when you get to the very technical cars where you've got to be able to, trail brake properly, be able to use your throttle control properly, clutches as well. People want to use clutch for fuel saving as well. It's very hard, when you don't have those. So we give them a lot of credit out there,
Well,
and it's good to
one of
see
those
the
things,
boys
it's
out
not
there.
that expensive to get into sim racing. The problem is that once you get into it and you get hooked, then it can become expensive because it's a bug that has a deep rabbit hole if you really want to go down it. I mean, I know I've spent a fair amount on my rig, and I haven't gone to the level of some other guys. When you got motion and 6 degrees of freedom and all this sort of stuff out there, it can be a slippery slope for your wallet. But we got the cars starting to appear on the grid for our final race tonight. This is the Shannons GR86 Nationals here on Sim Racing World TV. It's been an absolute pleasure sitting here chatting, watching these guys go around. We had plenty of action in that second race. Here is the grid for race number 3. Daniel Byrne, driver 808, will lead away Cameron Edwards. With John McHenry and Jamie Christensen, row 2. Ryan Green, Sam Katakuzinos. I'm getting better at it, Sam. You'll have to let me know how bad I am butchering it. Callan Hodgkinson and Andrew Lydon on the 5th row there. Jack Gronwald. Doug Gowan, sorry, this is the 5th row. So that's our top 10, that invert. So Doug coming away with a great victory in the last race. Cameron Hardwick, that was that 20 spots he got up. So, and alongside him, Cody Metcalf. Well, looks like the safety car is starting to pull away, or about to pull away and lead this field away, buddy. But we can see there's still a few names that are deep back in that field that haven't had a chance really to shine tonight. But we've seen plenty of action, and you know, I think we've had 2 safety cars, or only one. We didn't get one in the last race. Yeah, we didn't get one in the last race. So you're looking good, buddy. I need 3 in this race for it to work for me, so I don't think that's going to happen.
I mean, the last 3 races I called out safety cars, I got them all correct, so hopefully the same today and keep it going. So the only thing I can get correct is naming the safety cars. But in the grid as well, the team we had a very
I suppose, you know, everybody's got to have a claim to fame, Sheafy, so, you know.
I'm looking forward to this race. It's going to be very dark, and yeah, hopefully it stands out for you guys watching right now, but I do love night races. It does look beautiful when you see all the headlights and just see how many cars it is just going back further and further. So
when you've got one of those dynamic lighting setups like I've got, you know, when the light shines on the dash of the car, the lights all around me will reflect that lighting, so that can make quite exciting. And sometimes it feels like you're in a camera booth with a flash going off, with the headlights sort of flashing around everywhere as the light really lights up. All right, coming around the last corner here, they start to bunch up to start race 3 here tonight. This is round 1 of the GR86 Shannon National Series here. Season 4 for Sim Racing World. And 42 cars on track, mate. That is awesome to see such a big field right at the start. And they are off.
yeah, that's a really good start from Daniel Byrne, just taking the lead, very demanding as well. As you just see Cameron Edwards just stuck on the outside.
That McHenry get up the inside. Oh no, it's Christensen trying to make a move up the inside there, and I think he's got it done. So Jamie Christensen straight off the bat is up 2 spots into P2 and battling hard with Daniel Byrne.
Yeah, I think Jamie Christensen wants to make sure that he wins this race. He did win the first one, just didn't have too much luck in the second, but he's taking the lead just at
he's done it, yeah. And I think that Byrne got himself caught up a bit on the outside there, and he's maybe a sitting duck for Edwards. So it's Sam coming up the inside here, getting in amongst the action. He's going to take P3. Oh, a little shimmy there, but he's kept the car under control. And now it's McHenry at the back there fighting as well. So this is a great battle, the top 4. Already several moves being made on track.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think the beneficial as well for Jamie is that Daniel Byrne is not 100% comfortable compared to the top 15 at the moment. So to see a locked-on lad just go off the track.
Oh, is that McHenry?
No.
Yeah, it is. Is
it? Oh, no, it is too.
Yeah, he's back in P13 now, so that was John McHenry. He's run wide there, so from P3 to P13, down 10 spots. So that's, you know, pushing hard and battling hard with the front runners there. You make a tiny little mistake and it costs you a whole bag of positions.
Yeah, to see as well, he's got to be very careful as well, because right behind him, the Bono.
There, who was that, Nixon? No?
No, Metcalf.
Cody Metcalf was Metcalf, yeah, look at that. That's cost him about 4 or 5 positions there. Broken car, he's pulling this over. So note to self, don't hit that curb middle on, because it breaks the car.
It's not just that as well, there's a bit of a dip on the right hand side on the grass as well. I have destroyed my car there a couple of times, so just the curb and the grass itself can be very dangerous to these cars.
Battle Andrew Lydon, Connor Nixon, Dylan DeBono behind him, so Nixon trying to get a bit of bump there. He's opened the door on Lydon for DeBono, who's trying to sneak through as well. He's around the outside at the moment, but he will have the inside line for the next corner, and Lydon will have to yield that, I would think. He's trying to keep it up the outside there, but you've got to tuck in for the chicane, so...
Dylan
and
DeBrun has already
Domane getting
gained
it
up
done.
12 positions in the first 3 laps, so that's just incredible.
Well, Nixon in front of him is up 8 positions as well. Um, so some movers and shakers already. Horton up 16 positions, running in P15 at the moment. So after that massive shunt that happened to him at the end of race number 2, he's already up 16 positions. So plenty of action happening in the back there. Oh, we've lost Curtis Jackson for packet loss, so unfortunately Curtis has dropped out. If he doesn't make it in, he's probably going to go a couple of laps down.
Safety car.
Safety car is out there, so what did we miss?
So I think
Cody
it's Cody
Metcalf.
Metcalf, yeah. I think he can't make it to
Well,
the
his
pitch,
car had
unfortunately.
broken, yeah, because his car, it said there that he has been off track still,
Oh,
circling around, so that was just, that hurt.
yeah, just too much of the curb and just destroyed the back end of the car, unfortunately.
Well,
Just,
I think it's a transmission, it's got no drive.
yeah, all the rear axle in general.
Yeah, you
Both
can
of those
see
can
it
be
there
gone.
crabbing already. Looks like he's got drive, but he's just trying to keep it out of there.
Yeah, no, he just didn't have enough to make it into the pitch. So
Yeah,
he
oh,
tried to make
it's,
it
or
into
it
the pitch, it
popped
just,
something, yeah, something's popped.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
Phil Buckland. Something happened to Phil Buckland there under the safety car. What? Okay. What's happened here? He's close. Oh, he's running
no.
there. Running to the rear. Oh, it's
The
going to
car in
damage the
front of him
front
was
car there.
and him as well. They just checked up.
Oh, yeah, and you can see, was that McHenry trying to get out of the way there, and unfortunately Buckland got...
Now,
I
I
think a
think,
few of them have come over the hill not realising where the safety car was. So, again,
yep.
something you got to keep an eye on your relative. And when you start to see a relative of under 10 seconds and a safety car out there, slow down.
Yeah, just very unfortunate there. I mean, a couple of cars got caught up in that, but hopefully not too much damage for him. But it's going to be a massive, massive race now. So Jamie Christensen, yes, he took the lead, but Daniel Byrne behind him, Sam Katakazuni and Jack Gronwald as well behind the AM driver of Daniel. I think these two boys want to try and make the move on Daniel as quick as possible to stick on the back of Jamie for the next 10 or so minutes to make sure that they can compete for first place.
It does open up the chances for sort of those guys sitting in sort of P6 back as well, because that gap had sort of broken out a little bit there. Safety car bunches it back up, and so we're going to see the likes of Connor Dixon's, Dylan DeBono, the grandpa Doug Gowan's, Ryan Green, mixing it amongst that top 5. I think we are about 6 minutes into this race, so a little over 14 minutes to go. I didn't hear if the safety car was coming in or not. Looks like Curtis Jackson is jumping back in the sim, so that's good to see. Hopefully you didn't lose too many laps there, Curtis. Might just keep an eye on the chat as well. Outright expense for sim racing feels steep. Look, I think, Jordan, look, the thing is, it's not expensive to get into sim racing. I mean, you can pick up a second-hand G27 or G25 for a couple $100 at the most. But, when you compare it to being able to buy a second-hand Xbox controller for $50, then it's more expensive. But it really is like, when you get into it and you really enjoy it, then you want to have decent gear. And that's when you start to look at the load cell pedals, and then you're upgrading your wheel direct drive. And then when you're doing that, you're looking at a rig, and then you're looking at maybe going triple screens. And yes, the rabbit hole opens and it's quite deep. But I suppose there's a ladder going down there, so you can't just fall into it. You've got to willingly climb down it. Jordan is a midget racer. The wheelman Brett Wheeler tells me so. Sim racer and a real world racer as well, Jordan. And I know that he did try to come into the V8Ms one week and took it out as well, Jordan. So I did remember your name there, buddy. But that's good to see, man. And yeah, running expenses of running a race team, I'm sure you're well aware of how expensive that can be. So I understand coming from both sides there, buddy.
Yeah, and I've been involved with race car teams and stuff like that. Yeah, it can be very costly on some days where you just have it bad luck and just get caught in crashes, and it can bring up the dollars very quickly, unfortunately, on a couple of nights. So yeah, it could be very costly, and depends what car you drive, it could be even worse. So
Tyres and track time as well, mate. And I see Joe, your answer there saying 1 to 3 hours practice every night. I know that's why you're quick. You told me a couple of seasons ago if I practice more, I might be as quick as you. Yeah, look, I suppose it's all about time, buddy, and how much you can put into it. I know I've got all these other sims that I rarely touch anymore because you barely got enough time to practice your racing, let alone just to jump on the sim and have a muck around in some other car. So,
yeah, we need a
and
couple more hours a day, I reckon, in
that,
our life to be
that's
able
right,
to fit it
yeah.
in.
And, some of these mad guys down here are racing in multiple series. Well, you're racing just about every night when you're not commentating, Sheepy.
Yeah, I basically am. Yeah, I think the only night off I got is the Sunday night. So yeah, I know how it feels to do three different cars, and especially with two of them I've never driven before. It can be very challenging, to try and put the time in there, and then you go
Well,
into
that's
another
right.
car. It's just like, oh, jeez.
Well, sometimes you can find that the change will actually help you driving. I know there's a period there where I was focusing solely on the V8, and then I jumped in and did a heap of GT3 practice for the 12-hour, Bathurst 12-hour a couple of years back. And then when I jumped back into the V8, I found half a second. So, sometimes those things can be beneficial because you practice different braking markers and that, and maybe when you get back into the other car, you push a little bit harder, you find a bit more pace. But
Mm.
you're right, when you're talking multiple tracks, multiple cars each week, that's when it gets hard to stay on. And even me and my streaming on a Monday night, I'm sort of dialing that back to focus just on the V8s here at SRW, trying to get near the pointy end. All right, so the safety car is in pit lane. Control has been handed back to the leader. They're coming down over the final hill, coming into the last corner. When will Christensen go? We saw,
He's
oh,
already
he's already
gone.
gone. He's already gone. Called him napping. Look
Yeah,
at that.
he's definitely playing some mind games. He set the first one off in the first race as well. He waited to the last second. This one, he
And
just
see,
went once the green flag came out.
I think that's also maybe a tactical thing, knowing that he knows that a couple of his fast rivals are a bit deeper in the pack. So if you go early, then that means that somewhere along the line someone misses the start. You can see there already a bit of a gap between sort of the top 4 cars and the next next 3, and then
Yeah,
there's a little gap back to the next group. That's the
yeah,
the way it can be. And but I suppose in the end it was all about getting to over the line first and T1 first.
I see Callum Hodgkinson on the screen right now
Oh,
having a
Tim Corn,
massive
something's
battle.
happened to Timmy. It just heard him on the radio there. Something's happened. There's contact. Curtis Jackson caught up involved in that, I think, as well. Here we go. Here's the replays of what's happened to Tim. Oh,
Oh
unfortunately,
no!
was that, who was that? Was that Nixon that made contact there? I'm not
Josh
sure.
Horton.
But so, oh, it was Horton. Horton's gone onto the grass there and just had a wiggle and he's come back on. So I think that Joshua might be fighting the long arm of the law, greeting him once again after that one. But then again, we are broadcast. We're not race control, so it's not our call.
I
Greg
do.
Leake has been given a drive-through penalty for contact. That's lap 1, I believe, as well. So they are still working hard, staying on top of everything. I think you've got to commend race control being able to deal with 40-something cars and stay on top of incidents.
Yeah, it's not easy. I mean, there's only 2 people up there, and there's 40 cars. A bit hectic like last night and the night before. It's just amazing how well they can do their jobs and try and keep on as much as possible. Considering there's only 20 minutes per race in this, so it can be very hectic. Just to see Sam just lost out P3 to Jack, as Jack is trying to.
27 on the radio there, buddy, too. So something's happened to 27. Is that Ryan Green?
No,
Off
that's
track,
Joker.
Peter Wilkinson off track, Brendan. Oh, something big has happened there mid-pack. I think we've got a few cars in and off the track. All right, trying to have a look and see what's happening here. Christian Wells. That's curb and then double bump.
And he almost flipped it upside down too.
All right, here's Philip Buckland. What's happening here to Phil? Oh, it's
Oh no.
getting turn and contact there.
Brandon Soper. So
Oh,
Brandon Soper was on the outside and just,
yeah.
unfortunately, I'll let Race Control explain that one.
I think so, buddy. But again, I mean, the thing about racing these cars, that the cars are so close. They're a bit slower than your supercars and that. But what it does mean is that you're racing so much closer together. So I talked about close contact racing at the start of tonight's broadcast. It's not that these guys want to bump and grind. It's just that, to get a run on the car in front, you've got to ride him almost through the corner. And if something happens, a little bump or a little shift of weight and the car sort of, does a wiggle, then in a heartbeat, you've lost it, and then suddenly the guys behind, because they're racing so close, they got nowhere to go.
Yeah, it's a very challenging car. I mean, like there's no advantage at all. Like really,
Is
in
it a
setup.
boat? I think it's sort of one of those nautical vehicles. When I drove it last time, certainly felt turned like a boat.
Yeah, I think it does turn like a boat. At certain tracks, and you just sit there and go, it's so much understeer. I mean, I raced a fair bit of TCRs before obviously the GH86s came out, and it's completely different. Like it's very similar in aspect of that, but there's no power at all when you step on the gas. So
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking, buddy. Because like in the V8 supercar, if you get those moments where the car won't turn, then you just give it a little bit of gas and it steps it out, and there you got turn done. Whereas these things, you can't do that. You got to slow it down, and you slow it down too much. And we've seen before, once you slow down too much in a corner, you just lose all your momentum, and you're a sitting duck for the 7 cars behind you.
Well, the tactic is in the G86 is that you've got to have your traction control off. If you have it off, you can actually be a bit more quicker, especially at the launch. If you have a standing still start, if you have traction control on, you're going to get gobbled up by everyone else. So it's very critical to make sure that this car's set up properly. See Cameron just in P5 at the moment, keeping it nice and clean, trying to keep up with Sam ahead of us on the
Deep,
grass.
wide run there. But I suppose if you've got a few incident points left over, we are coming into the last 5 minutes of this race, so you can afford to maybe run a bit wider there, carry a bit more speed, as long as you don't lose too much on the grass. Those new grass physics, we saw what happens when you go sideways. Don't want that happening with 5 minutes to go in this race.
Well, talk about grass physics as well. Before the update came, if he did that before the update, he would have been straight into the wall. He wouldn't have been able to pull up at all. So obviously there's a massive. It's not really an advantage, but it's a beneficial for drivers that do fall off the track. They don't go flying off the track into the wall. As we see Dylan
De
Bono.
Bono now putting pressure. He has the is that Ryan Green in front of him, one of the Alpha Venturi racing machines, and he's piling the pressure on. It's been a good drive tonight from De Bono, up 13 in this race. He did have a bit of an incident in race number 2 that put him well back, but a good recovery now.
Another thing as well, you don't really get much tow as well on the main straight. So
nice move there on the inside. Tried to go on the inside, a little bit of contact, and then it's an over-under from De Bono. But Ryan Green, he's still there. Can he hold enough of the nose? No, he can't. He has to yield. And De Bono, well, that almost kept his nose up there a little bit too long, Green. But they've both gotten away with it. Good skills. And we can see the battle behind them.
Oh,
Is that
no,
Leiden?
Green.
Oh.
He just went on 3 wheels coming in, just overlocked it too much.
Yep.
And just
And
all
how many spots has that cost him?
2.
2.
Maybe 3.
No, it's 3, yeah. And you can see, is that Leiden, Gallo behind him there, or is that Leiden?
No, John McHenry behind him.
John McHenry. Yeah.
Yeah, John McHenry just over to Green. I think Green still had a slowdown as well, going off the track as well. So he gave way to P11 for John McHenry.
At the
And
moment, it
David
is
Gallo.
Jamie Christensen. He has a 2.5 second lead on the field at the moment. Driver 808, Daniel Byrne, he's holding on to P2 at the moment. Jack Gromwald has been right there, yeah, 6/10. So he's keeping Daniel honest, and Sam about a second back there as well. So you can see that was Byrne using all of that inside curb there, buddy, trying to find every ounce of pace. He can smell the breath of Jack Gromwald coming down, breathing down his neck, I should say. And 1.5 minutes to go. So what, 2 laps?
Yeah, 2 laps to go, just depending on when the leader, if he clocked over the 2 lap mark. So I've got to say, I've got to give Daniel Byrne a massive credit for being an AM driver. I think this is his first proper race in a league in the GR86. Normally see him in the Formula 3s, and he's providing a bit of pace today. Keeping Jack
It's
behind
one
as
of
well.
those things, and like on the Wednesday nights, one of the drivers we love to talk about in a similar fashion is Nathan Burney. Nathan's sort of one of those guys that's not super quick at any one track, but you get him in front, he can hold people behind, and he can still do good lap times. You know, he's not slow enough that the leaders can just gobble him up, and he's got great racecraft where he can make that car as wide as 3. And we can see here at the moment is that Lockie Brett and Daniel Byrne. Yeah, Lockie getting out of the way because it looked like there is in a little bit of a pickle. He should be letting these guys through. Oh. He's fought it right to the wall. He's lost it as well in the process. And in the process, Gromwald has got past Byrne. That's, yeah, I don't know about that. That's one of those blue flag moments. I think he could have got it out of that well before the straight and not gotten involved there. Whether or not it made a difference, I don't know, because I think Jack had a great run on Daniel Byrne. But he's got the job done now, P2. See if he's got enough time. I don't think he's got time to catch Christensen. Yeah, look at that. The gap was 2.5 seconds a lap ago. It's now 4.1 seconds. So that little incident there cost both of those boys over a second.
Yeah, not just that as well. Sam as well completely lost P4 as well. Unfortunately, but I think this is a checkered flag though.
Yep, they have finished. So we thought there might have been an extra lap there, buddy, but we didn't. So it is Christensen who has brought home victory in race number 3 tonight. And with his victory in race number 1, good finish race number 2, but he would have dropped a few points. It'll be interesting to see if the more consistent drivers of is it Jack Gromwald, because Jack had good finish in that second race as well. I'd say Jack probably might walk away with the championship lead after round 1, but I suppose a super sprint format does mix it up a little bit, so, you know, it's very easy to have, you know, 2 okay races and 1 bad one, or 1 good one and 2 bad one, or even 2 good, 1 bad. Very difficult to have 3 good races on a night like this.
Yeah, not often you can have really good races, especially with 40 plus cars on the field. I mean, all it takes is one mistake and you got to climb past 30 cars to get back in the top 10. So let's see with the results. We've got Jamie Christensen, who has run his second race of the night. So taking out P1, followed by Jack Bonwell as well with P2. And Daniel Byrne, a massive surprise package as well on the podium as well. He'll be very happy with that. Followed by Sam Katakazunis in P4 and Cameron Edwards followed him in P5. With Doug Gowans in P6, he was also a race winner tonight, winning heat number 2. He's followed by Callum Hodgkinson in P7. Dylan DeBono in P8, Connor Nixon in P9, and Andrew Lyden rounded out the top 10. So 2 kittens in the top 10.
Pretty good effort from the Kitten boys. We do know them as racers of the Formula 3s. Not so well known in the 86s, but bring out a good contingent of, 3 or 4 of them tonight, and having a red hot go, so it's great to see.
Absolutely, as we see the rest of the grid as well, between 11th and 20th was McHenry, Gallo, Basilak, Green, Wilkinson, Baldini, Brett Spinovich, or Sinkovich, shall I say, Johnston and Kane as well. So they're very happy with that.
Well, Stephen will be pretty happy with the top 20. Especially in a field of 40+ cars, so he'll be enjoying that. I know I saw a few of the boys in the lounges up there chatting during that race. So, some good camaraderie amongst the field, and I think we still had over 30 something cars finish the race as well, which is great to see.
It's really good to see them out there. It's a very, very tough race in that third one. Very dark out there, so good to see that the boys had a lot of fun out there tonight, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see what their thoughts were.
It's one of the questions we're going to have to ask these boys. So, did any of you do any night practice?
Oh no, I definitely didn't. So I don't think many of the drivers were expecting to be in pitch black at the moment. So yeah, it would have been a good experience for them.
Well, it certainly made for an interesting night of racing there. We thoroughly enjoyed it. Both Sheepy and myself ring-ins for the 86 commentary here tonight. Maybe you a little bit later ring in than me. I said I was good yesterday, so I at least had a day to get myself prepped for it, buddy.
Like I said, I was in a race car expecting to start doing qualifying. So yeah, it was very last minute, but no, it was good fun watching the boys out there, and I think it might have saved me a couple of headaches. It was a bit hectic out there. So
Good to have someone with a bit of experience in these cars as well. I mean, I've driven them a couple of times, but by no means have I done much more than a race or two in them. So, there's nuances to all the cars. On iRacing and on all sorts of sim racings, they will behave differently. So, you've got to, spend time to get your head around that. And all right, there we have the top 3 in the green room. So let's bring in was it Jack that finished P2? So it was Daniel Byrne that finished P3. Let's bring in driver 808, Daniel Byrne, buddy. Front row start for race number 3. Race 1 and 2, man, that must have been pretty hectic, deep in a 40-car field.
Yeah, that was something. This is my first GR86 race, so it was pretty hectic. I usually do the Formula 3 races, and it's nice. These are a little bit more solidly built, so you can bump each other and your wheel doesn't break. So it was a lot of fun. I found myself at the back of the field. I think it was in the second race, dead last, and kind of made my way up to somewhere respectable, and then somehow found myself in P10, which I didn't realize was going to put me at the front of the last race. So I was pretty happy with that.
Sure you were, buddy. I'm quite familiar with you in the F3s, so great to see, quite a few. It was there 4 or 5 of the kittens out there tonight. And you boys putting in an effort for these 86s, but yeah, look, 40 cars. You've seen it in the F3s. These things, those curbs, man, they look like they were death if you hit them, though.
Yeah, I mean, normally in the Formula 3 we stay away from the curbs, so I was staying away, but when I was following a couple of the pro guys, I could see they were hitting them a lot harder than I was, and actually kind of having one wheel on the other side of some of the sausage curbs. So I've definitely got a lot to learn, I think.
We also saw a few cars hit the curves wrong and get broken in the process too, buddy. So I think maybe safe was the right option tonight, buddy, and put your P10 for race 2, and you walk away with the podium at the end. That back marker there at the end, did Jack have a run on you anyway? Was it going to be hard to defend him into the T1, or did that car get in the road?
Well, he was definitely quicker than me in general. So, but yeah, there were a couple of things with lapped cars that was a bit tricky to maneuver around, and yeah, I got really slowed down there, and I think he was going to have the run on me at some point anyway, so I wasn't going to battle him too hard. I'm registered as an amateur, so he's a pro, so I wasn't going to try and race him too hard. But yeah, I'm happy with that result,
Are you
P3
going
is
to be
great.
able to hang on to that amateur moniker? We saw what happened to Dylan DeBono last night, getting bumped up to the pros after one night. We know you're a pro in the F3, still learning these cars, buddy, but you keep putting it on the podium. I don't know if you'll be able to hang on to that AM tag for too long.
That's right. I'm here to race. So the further up I am, the happier I am. So I'm happy to just to race.
Awesome, buddy. Well, it's great having a chat to you once again. Let us know who's giving you and the Kittens racing team all the support out there, and congratulations on your P3.
Yeah, cheers. Yeah, so shout outs to Kittens Racing, Driver 808 on YouTube, AML Technology, and shout outs to Atari, Bianca, French and Minka, and Zach and Levi.
Awesome, buddy. Well, congratulations, mate, and we'll let you get back to them, and thanks for having a chat with us.
Thanks a lot. See you next week, hopefully.
Awesome. Now, Sheepy, I asked all the questions the first one, so I think we're going to bring Jack in now. Do you want to take the questions for Jack?
Yeah, I can. Jack, congratulations on P2. There's actually three podiums, sorry, today in the race. What was your thoughts with 40 cars out there, and especially once the light disappeared?
It was pretty packed. There were a lot of cars, so just had to make your way through the field and not have a lot of contact, which I had a bit.
You do
Yeah,
any night practice? We've got to ask. We meant to ask Daniel that question too. Did you do any night practice?
I did not. I did not expect it to go night halfway through the race.
I gotta say, would this be the most scariest experience that you had? Obviously, with 40 odd cars in the pitch dark.
I got squeezed onto a curb and got pretty high in the air.
Dude, that's pretty scary there. So, what was your thought? You know, you got to be obviously on the podium for all three races, but what was your thought racing against some of these boys out there today?
Oh, they were really quick, and yeah, I just couldn't catch Jamie at the end there. It was too quick for me. So yeah, just everyone really good today.
Obviously, it's good to see you out there on the podium as well and fighting with the big boys. What's your strategy for next week? Are you gonna try and put some night practice in, or you're just happy to do whatever you do?
I'll put a bit of practice in and just hope for the best.
Hope for the best. I love that. So, other than that, obviously you knew that you had the advantage with the slow car. Unfortunately, Daniel Byrne got caught up coming into turn one. What was going through your head when making that move?
I just saw the slower car, and there was a gap in the middle, so I just like sent it, and
Just,
yeah,
I love how simple it is. Just you just sent it, and just all of a sudden you're in P2.
yeah, I knew he was gonna be on the outside, so I'd have the better line through there. So yeah.
It was really good to see you out there tonight. You did an awesome job, especially in that second race, gaining all those positions. But obviously, who do you want to thank for tonight's race?
You guys for streaming the race. Cody, GM Sim Sports, made a pretty good hot dog, and yeah, the car was really fast.
No, definitely was fast, and hopefully we'll see you out there next week and just as quick.
Congratulations there, Jack, mate. Have a great one, and we'll see you next week, buddy. And hopefully you can fight your way through the field like you did tonight. It was great to watch.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, buddy. So let's bring in the winner of two of our races here tonight in the Shannons GR86, Jamie Christensen, mate. Race number 2, you did pretty well to carve your way through the field, buddy. How was it starting from 20th?
Well, yeah, I did start 20th. The start wasn't the greatest of starts, but I mean, it worked up until I got sandwiched in between two people and accidentally took Connor out on like turn 5. But after that, I got about maybe to 13th or something, and then got a drive through and had to come back after that.
Well, we saw that, buddy. So to drive through, and you still made it through to finish into the top 10. There was a fair bit of carnage in that race number 2. Was it just, trying to keep sort of on the inside as much as you can when there's that much
Well,
traffic?
yeah, there was a lot of lap cars all battling and a lot of them off track, so avoiding them was fun. But yeah, that was the goal for that race. Just stay on the track.
All right, your turn, Sheepy. You ask a question. I'm not going to hog them all.
Obviously, I have raced against you a couple of times. Unfortunately, I missed out tonight, but you're back. You missed out last season. What's your goal for this season? Is it to win another championship or just have a bit of fun?
Well, I'm gonna have a bit of fun, but I'm also gonna attempt to win it because that's also fun to do that.
Winners
So
aren't grinners, buddy. We know that. But look, 40 plus cars, mate. That's an awesome field for round number 1. Those reverse 20 grid races, though. You a fan of that one?
yeah, they are pretty fun. It's just around this track it was pretty difficult because it's not really easy to pass at this track. So
Yeah,
that
definitely wasn't easy tonight. Obviously, for you boys out there, it's a very tight track, and obviously, if you just hit a couple of chicanes, your race is basically over. But I think you did an awesome job tonight. You just did what you did, and just I think obviously, I don't think you were expecting night racing tonight, but
Was
what's your
there any
thoughts?
practice? Yeah.
Yeah, what were your thoughts when it just went pitch black out there on the track?
well, I mean, we have lights on the car, but there was no lights on the track, so it was pretty scary, but it was pretty fun as well at the same time.
That there was no night practice this early this week. Didn't read this that it might happen this way. It was a
Nah,
complete surprise for you.
I already had some laps done at this track in the car because yeah, well, I did some laps anyway a while ago, so I just got used to the track again. Did about 10 laps, got used to it because I already knew the lines, and yeah,
And then coming to find it sunset through the first race. So did it click to you then that it was going to be dark in the next 2?
no,
Nah, that's awesome, buddy. Well, it was certainly great to watch you tonight. You had to really work for it in that second race, and even that first race, the battle with you and Dylan and I think Horton was involved in there. It was some pretty exciting racing, buddy. That's what you come here for.
yeah,
Awesome, buddy. Well, congratulations on a double victory tonight, and to see if you had enough points, because I think there's a couple other guys that had some consistent finishes as well, to see if you walk away leading the championship after round 1. But double victory tonight, mate. You've earned the plug for your sponsors out there, so let us know who's giving you all the support.
all right. So shout out to Burling Motor Group, Race Lab Overlays, Doctor Epoxy, Next Level Racing, RSW Graphics, Turn and Race Apparel, and Moser Racing.
Oh, like a man who is prepared. He had that right there. As if you had that written down before you started tonight, buddy. Nah, I'm only joking. Nah, it was awesome to watch. Both of us, well, Sheepy was supposed to be racing tonight, and I normally commentate the F3s. So some of you guys are new faces to me. But if there's action like that every week, man, you're gonna keep coming back, aren't you?
Yeah, we'll be here every round, or I will be.
Awesome, mate. Well, once again, congratulations on your victories tonight, and good luck for the rest of the season, buddy.
All right, you guys have some fun as well.
Jamie Christensen, our race 1 and 3 winner. And we'll have to see if he's the round winner or not, but congratulations to Jamie. Well, Sheepy, mate, we have come to the end of tonight's broadcast, buddy. I know you would have loved to have been racing out there, but was this a good substitute for you?
Yeah, I definitely think it was. I mean, I got the safety car count correct again, so I'm very happy with that. At least I win something tonight. So, no, it's just good fun. I mean, obviously I would have loved to be out there, but in saying that as well, it's good to see what the drivers can do, and I think I get to learn a bit more than others and see what they can do, what they can't do out there on track, and hopefully next week, hopefully next week I can be out there.
Well, buddy, we'll have to see how we go. They might require your services in the booth again, but As I said, mate, I have thoroughly enjoyed working with you tonight. Same with the man behind the scenes, the silent man, Brett the Wheelman Wheeler. Thanks very much for your work here tonight, buddy. The cars did look awesome. Love the overlays and everything. It was looking really good. Well, Sheepy, that will bring us to the end of tonight's first round of the Shannons GR86 Nationals here at Sim Racing World TV. Of course, if you are enjoying the content, please, if you haven't done so already, give us a like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the action. We have racing 5 nights a week here at Sim Racing World, all broadcast. Jump on board. To everyone that was in the chat, talking with us, bouncing back, letting us know their ideas. It is great to have your support as well. And we'll see some of you out on track. If you are interested in getting involved with our racing here at Sim Racing World, just go to our website, simracingworld.com.au. Follow the links there. It'll take you to a Discord and you can sign up and get involved in all the great action. On behalf of our admin, management, broadcast team, this is Cowy, your average sim racer. That is Tyler, Sheepy Sheep, and Brett, the Wheelman Wheeler behind the scenes. We will say good night, guys. Have a great one, and we'll see you next time on SRWTV.
To total one, this is amazing. Up and clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostert and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to sniff on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because take Wild Priest Tanner, James Dyke just won't away from him. And go out the outside, this is where he just sends up to the side of the other. And just ran up. Very scary out there. To total one, this is amazing. Up and clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostert and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to sniff on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because take Wild Priest Tanner, James Dyke just won't away from him. And go out the outside, this is where he just sends up to the side of the other. And just ran up. Very scary out there. To total one, this is amazing. Up and clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostert and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to sniff on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because take Wild Priest Tanner, James Dyke just won't away from him. And go out the outside, this is where he just sends up to the side of the other. And just ran up. Very scary out there. To total one, this is amazing. Up and clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostert and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to sniff on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because take Wild Priest Tanner,